So when Rugby Borough Council is coming forth into a court of claims, and they know it's a court of claims because it clearly says, hey, this is a court of claims, I'm making a claim, then obviously they must be a man. Obviously. So just because you, like I said, thank God, because people who listen to my show also know that there was this guy on a show a while back who's named this kid Rain. Raindrop or Rain. No, I think it was just Rain, like R-A-I, and then one of his kids' name was Drizzle, and the other kid's name was Bucket. And then his other kid's name was Amicus Curie. So just because Bucket wants to be a party to the case, I'm going to let him come on in. If he wants to be a defendant, and all the defendant could do is curl up in a ball and take a beating, God bless him. It's like, okay, he wants to be a defendant. Okay, that's lovely. He's not going to prosecute me. No, he's going to be a defendant. Okay, that's great. So I'm going to let him come in as a defendant. Like I said, too, especially if somebody wants to come forth and say, well, I want to make myself a defendant in this case, because every single person I ever know who's ever called me on a show, they've always said, Carl, how do I get out of the position of a defendant? Carl, how do I get out of being a defendant? I was like, well, why? Why would you want to? Just like when I was in England with you on Friday the 13th. You were like, well, Carl, without going to court as a defendant. It's like, oh, hell no. I like taking the position of a defendant. And I'm also going to be a prosecutor in my case. But at the same time, I'm going to show that they have no case against me as a defendant, then I could turn around and sue them for false prosecution. As soon as this case gets discharged, then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to start chasing them. And you were like, no. Everybody's like, no, Carl, you always say don't come in as a defendant. It says don't come in only in that position. If you know that you're going to flip it around, you're going to win. Oh, you better believe I'm coming as a defendant. Everybody's like, oh, well, Carl, you always say one thing. I say, no. I'll tell people, it's like, it depends on what court are we dealing with. Do I want to come in as a defendant? Maybe. Do I want to not come in as a defendant? Just like sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It depends. There's so many interchangeables that could happen. Like when would it benefit for me to come in as a defendant? When your case was great. I was like, oh, no, we're going to accept the title of a defendant. What? Yeah, we are. We're going to be in person. What? Yeah, why? Because I got a claim on top of their person complaint. I got a claim of man on top of their person complaint. They're going to lose. Because I'm going to make it crystal clear to them. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'm here in person. Yeah, and everything they're saying on their complaint, yeah, it's true. Yeah, and so what? The only problem is I'm going to trump you with my claim. And you may have going to come forth and say that by doing what these folks claim that I've done, or complaining that I've done, has it caused any harm, injury, or loss? No, I don't think so. And I don't think anybody ever will appear. So, yeah, I'll take the position of defendant. It's never going to happen. See, like I said, everybody just wants to say, well, Carl said. I mean, I hear this all the time. I mean, especially I know some people on the show right now tells me all the time, well, Carl, you said this. Carl, you said that. It's ridiculous. If a man's coming at me in court, obviously I'm going to try to settle it before I become a defendant. Or if I know the claim is so outrageous, then I'll come a defendant. When a government comes after me as some sort of centralized government comes after me, an agency, oh, hell yeah, I'll definitely take the role of defendant. But I'm going to flip it around. But it was like, oh, but Nicole, you say not to. It's like, oh, geez, will you guys stop? I'll say not to come in as a defendant. I said, you better not come in as a defendant without a claim. You better have a claim prepared. You better not just walk in and take a beating. You better have a claim ready to present to the court at the time that you're entering as a defendant. That's why it was so important for us to have that paperwork filed. And that's why I made such a big stink of filing it after hours. It's like, oh, well, we were too late. Oh, well, guess what? We still got to get it filed. We got to walk down there in court tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock in the morning with a straight face saying, yep, we got a claim filed. And I don't want to, I'm not going to go to court with bullshit and say we got it filed when it's not. So, nope. So, no, like I said, if he wants to be, if you got all pissy pants when they said to you, they were going to bring Rugby Borough Council on as a defendant. He said, no, they're not going to enter my case as a defendant. You could have said to the judge, you know what, that's lovely. You know what, they want to come in as a defendant? That's lovely. The only problem is you know what, we already got 563 defendants in this case. There is a rule in court, and it's well established, that I'm going to take on one at a time. I'm going to separate the case. I'm going to split the case. I'm going to have each defendant like one at a time. Like say somebody was suing for a cigarette company for lung cancer. If they don't want to be part of a lawsuit, you say, well, why don't you just join our lawsuit? We got 1 million people here. We're all going to get money. Yeah, when you settle for your clients, they're all going to get 53 cents. And that they were going to split the winnings. You know what? I'm going to take the tobacco industry on my own. And I'm going to go get $1 million. I'm not going to be part of a class action because I want more than 53 cents. Yay, we just won $5 billion in a class action lawsuit. Yeah, after lawyers' fees, court costs, and everything else, here's your 53 cents. That's ridiculous. So like I said, you could have told the judge I'd be more than glad to accept him as a defendant into this case. But as a matter of fact, you know what? We're going to have to, do one at a time. There's just too many defendants on board right now for me to beat all these defendants. The defendants, there's just too many. I don't have the resources to take on all these defendants at one time. So yes, do they wish to be a defendant in the case? That's fine. That's lovely. You know what? We're going to split the party. We're going to split the parties because I have a different issue with Rugby Borough Council than I do with this man. His supervisor, Rugby Borough Council, that man or that woman known as Rugby Borough Council, yes, they are liable for failing to train, discipline, and monitor this guy. Absolutely. But right now, I just want to take on this man. But no, if they want to have a separate case, that's fine. But at this time, I can't hear all these defendants come. It's just going to take too long. Well, I would just say, sure, let's do this, man. Like I said to you, you're like, well, Rugby Borough Council wanted to, come in as a defendant. It's like, oh, good. They want to defend that they trespassed, or they want to make a claim that they didn't trespass. I mean, what are they coming in? How are they answering? They're answering that they're doing it because a piece of paper that the Act of Parliament says they can trespass on a man's land. That's wonderful. Let's put that to the test. That's lovely. And I said, if Santa Claus came over and he wanted to become a defendant in that case because he trespassed upon your land on Christmas Eve, and he's like, well, you know what? I think I've done him wrong then too. If this cop's done wrong, well, then I guess I should admit that I flew over your house and, well, I actually went down your chimney, and I wasn't granted. I had no warrant to come in. I guess, honestly, I should have knocked on the front door. And I said that to you, what if the Tooth Fairy wants to come on board? Let the Tooth Fairy come on board. But she wants to say, well, I creeped in your house at night and I put money in your kid's pillow 32 times. Well, okay, good. You want to come in and defend yourself for, trespass? Lovely. Who else wants to come in and say that they've done wrong and they trespassed? Or does he want to say that, like I said, how are they going to explain, in accordance to the common law, that the centralized governments have some sort of jurisdiction or authority over man? That's going to be a lovely test. That's going to be a lovely fight. Because they would say, well, everybody here in England, we all just submit to the crown. We all just bend over and take it. It's like, yeah, you know what? That may be true, but I'm a man and I know better, and I don't. It's like, you're not an Englishman? No. Well, Englishmen, we just take it. Whatever the crown tells us to do, we just do, because that's our common law. That's what we commonly roll. That's what we do every day. They tell us to bend over, we bend over. They tell us what they're coming in our house and they're going to walk around and have a look about. Well, they're going to have a look about, and we just sit there and we take it because we're English, and that's what we do. And you can say, well, you know what? I'm not English, and I don't take it. And you trespassed. There's no jurisdiction here. This is my property. You have no vested interest in this. You did not put any money into this. You did not, you did not give me any money to buy this. So I'm not gonna. You don't have a vested interest. You have no say so what goes on. Past this threshold, past this boundary, past this border. It's just like if Scotland breaks away, they're going to have no authority or jurisdiction to go into Scotland anymore. That's it. It's over.
And that's political.
That's it. That's it. They know and they know the rules. They better not just say, well, we've been coming into Scotland for the last 400 years. I think, yeah, well, the party's over. He ain't coming in no more. I'll tell you, but he ain't coming in. We're done. It's over.
What do you have with, this nation thing that I was dabbling with? Because I've just looked it up on Google now. It's called a micronation. Basically, you just remove everything and you become, you're the same guy that sweeps the street. You're the same guy that does everything, which, for some people isn't always very beneficial.
No, it's a lot of fun, man. Like I said to people all the time, it's like I always say, these Freeman of Montana kind of guys. You know, that was a good example out there because they were in a little state called Montana, and it was maybe 20 people in their town. So it's easy to elect a sheriff and mayor, set up a court, and once you set up the court, your court is going to be recognized, and all the judgments in your court is going to be recognized throughout the United States. So
whoa. Rewind. You said that these lot are from Montana, yeah?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is Montana not? Isn't that already recognized all the way across the U.S.? It's not like a complete separate little state thing, is it?
It's one of the 50 states, the lower 48 to call. Yeah. But what I'm trying to say is the full faith and credit clause. Any ruling made, like if you get married in Montana, you're married. You might as well. Every state's going to recognize that you're married. If you got arrested for shooting somebody in Montana, they're going to extradite you. If you jump across the state and go to South Dakota or North Dakota, they're going to extradite you. They're going to bring you back. And they'll say, well, no, you had a trial in Montana, you were found guilty, and we're going to recognize that judgment. And say, well, wait a second, the people in Montana hated me because I was an Indian. Oh, that's what's funny, too. If you go to like a big, like a state park up there, it's funny. They used to have signs up there. When I went up there in August, there's like motorcycle rallies they got up there. It would say whites only. And it wasn't they were discriminating against black people. They were discriminating against American Indians.
Right.
Because what was funny is because the American Indians have their own nations within our nation, within the United States borders. They have nations, Indian nations.
Yeah,
right. So what they would do is that the reservations, they're on Indian nations. So what they would do is they'd come down, they'd get drunk, smack into your car with their car. They didn't care, whatever, or get into a fight or do whatever, steal, rape, pillage, whatever they want to do. And they could just run back into their reservation, into their nation, and you can't pursue them. You can't chase them. So that's what's funny. It used to say whites only. It used to say whites only. There wasn't them keeping blacks out. They were keeping American Indians out. It's pretty funny. So I just thought that was funny with Montana. But no, they got that in Nevada, too. Nevada's got counties. I don't remember how many counties are in Nevada. Let's just say for laughs, there's 100 counties. There's like 40 counties that nobody lives in. I mean, it's just empty. So I always tell people, like, hey, put up some solar panels and a windmill up there, pull some water from the ground, and start your own town. Start your own courts. Start your own police department. Start your own everything. Get a ruling from your own court, and that court is it's going to be recognized as a legitimate ruling throughout all the United States. It's a court. So the judge ruled. Yep. Okay.
This is what I was saying to you, Carl. I don't know if you heard what I was saying, but when we did our own little funny one, and we said, fine, we're going to convene our own common law court, we'll do Queen's Bench, and he said, no, you can't do that. I'll have to get legal advice. And I went, okay, you do that. Anyway, we'll be there in 10 minutes in that room over there.
Yeah.
So we picked like a meeting room. We said, well, we'll do ours over there. And he said, well, what's that then? And we said, oh, we're going to do a Queen's Bench common law court. He said, oh, you can't do a Queen's Bench common law court. And I goes, no, you can't, because you keep doing a Queen's Bench division court. And I goes, I'm not doing that. And he looked at me and he thought, oh, shit. He looked really scared and he ran off.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, we'll do this for the hell of it, just for the fun of it.
I'm sorry, when did you tell them that?
That was on that day when that guy wouldn't call the judge down to carry the case on.
Well, but I'm saying, how long ago was that?
Thursday.
Oh, you mean the day you called me?
Yeah, I'd done that already on the day, but I did it for the hell of it. But actually, coming to think about it, if I did it properly and actually did a bit more preparation around it and did some proper thought around it, did summons, picked up a judge prior, not just you, you're a judge. You're a clerk.
Right.
But yeah, I thought I'd do it just for the hell of it, just to see if they'd throw us out. But yeah, no, they're really nice. Nobody said shit to us.
Yeah, that's funny.
We just did it in a meeting room. But like I was saying, the interesting thing is I put my dictaphone on the desk to press record, just to record our proceedings, just in case later on we wanted to replay it back, just for the hell of it. But that's the first time I've ever got my dictaphone out and pressed record and put it on the table.
Right.
But when the next day when I went back into the security guard, by the way, we were in a little meeting room which had no visible security camera.
Right.
But when I put it back in my bag and went out in the corridor and left, the next day when I went to hand in my notice to say, I want to be a co-defendant, when I went past security, they went through my bag, found my dictaphone and said, you're going to have to leave that here. And I've always had it in one of my little bags. Never once have they ever said anything about it, but that next day they said, leave it at the desk.
Yeah,
so I thought, hang on. He must be recording all the time. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
In ours as well. Oh, my God. Well, I don't give a shit, actually, but okay, fine. If that makes you feel any better, fine, you keep it. I don't give a shit. I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah, you're just going to the clerk's office?
Yeah, I was just going to file a form, filed in the form, came straight back out. But the guy, I thought I have a good laugh with them anyway, so at least there's always somebody I can have a good laugh with, but I'm not going to get funny with them.
Yeah, because like I said, what's funny, if you really want to press the issue with them, all you have to do is say, is that an order?
I thought I could have so much fun with them, but then I thought, I actually have so much of a laugh with them all the time now, where seriously, I thought they cross all sorts of boundaries and all sorts, but it's a good laugh. But otherwise, if I suddenly get serious with them, I thought they'll just think I'm laughing and joking. I thought, you know what? I prefer it as a laugh and a joke. That's fine.
Right, yeah, because you got a pretty good rapport with those folks right now. You might as well not blow it. I know who you're talking about, yeah. So you might as well stay happy with them.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, but
I genuinely treat them like good friends. We just go there, we have a laugh and a joke. They do their funny thing. We almost, constantly they're taking the mickey, and I take the mickey back. That's good. That's where I wish everywhere I went was like that. At the bakery, in the court, out the court, anywhere.
Yeah, well, like I said, that's what's funny too, is because did you just say that they don't take the mickey out of you? So that's pretty cool. You keep going. Yeah,
no, I like that. I like a little bit of camaraderie, a bit of fun. We have a little laugh and a joke. That's cool.
Hey, did you? Yeah, did they? That's what was good too. What was that second court we went to? The first one was Coventry. What was the other one called?
Leamington Crown Court.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'm sure glad they patted you down, because you were definitely the terrorist type, man.
What you saying, man? I'm not a Muslim. Leave me alone. I'm not Muslim.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
Just unfortunately, we've got the same color skin, so I always get patted down, and they look at you, the most scariest piece of shit ever going, and just let that guy go straight through.
Yeah.
That's funny, the truth, man.
It's funny when that alarm went off. It's funny, the metal detector went off. They just walked me through, and they didn't pat me down. It was funny when you did it. They said, "Paul, come over here, sir. Let me take the wand. Take out this stuff out of your pocket. What's in there?"
Strip search.
Yeah, you're a terrorist, man.
I'm waiting for a strip search. I had a laugh and a joke with the guys in Coventry, the security there. I said, "Oh my God, give you guys any power, because it'll be crazy, man. You'll be strip searching me every week. I know what kind of sick individuals you are." And they were laughing and joking. They're saying, that's a very interesting thought. And I guess, and scarily, I'm sure it's only a matter of time till you guys get that. So, but if you want to see my hairy black ass, then, good on you guys. I'll be more than happy to show you. They were like, "Oh, shit, no, you just ruined the thought, man. You just ruined it. We were thinking about some really good-looking woman, and you had to really ruin the thought."
That's what I said to them, and TSA did that to me. He said, "You mind if I pat you down?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "What?" "Yeah, I don't want you to pat me down. Get that good-looking woman over here, pat me down." He says, "Oh, well, you have the same sex." I said, "I don't have no same sex. Touch me." I said, "That woman touched me all day and all night." Said, "Get her over here." And he just started laughing. I was like, "No, I'm serious, man. Get a woman over here. I want no guy touching me." He says, "Oh, they won't do that." I said, "Well, that's what I want." I said, I wish her a woman to pat me down. I said, "It's creepy to have some guy touch me."
That's big game, man.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said, "How you do your job touching guys all day, man?"
Checking guys' assholes all day. Yeah.
I don't know how you do that.
Maybe that's your sort of thing.
Yeah, so it's just funny, man. I was just giving them, just making them, keeping them honest. You know what I'm saying? Just giving them a little bit of a hard time, making them try to think.
Yeah, but in a fun way.
Yeah, like, dude, do you realize what you're doing? You're touching a guy. You realize that now, right? You do know that. I'm not a woman.
You got a badge. I don't care what you say, but, that's just weird.
It's like, yeah, okay, they might pay you to do this, dude, but you do know you're touching a guy, right? So, yeah, I like that fun with those folks, too, man. Give them a little bit of a hard time. Keep them honest.
Oh, good.
Make them think about it. No, but like I said, if they wanted to become a party to the case, good. The more people who want to come on board, the better, because that's what it is. Rugby Borough Council is a people, is a man. Somebody who's going to be held liable for Rugby Borough Council. So good. So it's going to be Timothy Schmidt. He's the one who was elected as the head of Rugby Borough Council. Great. So once you find out Rugby Borough Council wants to be a party to the case, you say, fine. Who is in control of Rugby Borough Council? They say, Timmy Schmidt. Okay, Timmy Schmidt. Okay, let's take the name. Let's change the party so it's easier for everybody to recognize who everybody is. And it'll be Barry Rose and Timmy Schmidt against Bashi Man and Bali Man. Okay, let's do that. Like you guys come into this as a man. Yeah, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure. It's like, oh, no, they're going to say Rugby Borough Council isn't a man. Oh, well, then who's the man? Who claims that they're in control?
Who's the man? Who's the man?
Right, who's the man who's claiming that he's in control of Rugby Borough Council? You say, well, Timmy Schmidt. It's like, okay, then it's going to be Timmy Schmidt, Barry Rose, Bashi Man, and Bali Man. He's going to be like, no, it's Rugby Borough Council. Oh, are you telling me there's nobody in control of Rugby Borough Council? Well, yes. Well, then he's going to have to take on liability for all the acts of Rugby Borough Council, correct? Well, no, he doesn't want to take on liability. Oh, so you're telling me there's like a corporation or a monster or a ship out here with no captain at the helm? Oh, you know what? Then I'll claim Rugby Borough Council. I'll represent Rugby Borough Council. Nobody else wants to step forward? I'll step forward. See, because that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing in Alabama. And like I said, the U.S. Marshals left. The attorney there down after the U.S. Marshals office, he left his ass off. I said, yeah. I said, I'm getting such the hardest time for anybody taking liability for the forged instrument. Nobody wants to say that they're ultimately liable for the acts of the agency. Nobody wants to make a claim. It's like, okay, so you tell me nobody wants to claim the actions of the liability of the agency? Really? Well, then, shit, I guess I'll claim the agency. I'll claim the acts and liability. If no man wants to come forward, I guess I'll come forward. Any man on planet Earth want to make a claim for that agency? No. Well, then, hell, I'll take it. Like, nobody wants to make a claim for that chocolate donut? Nope, you could have a call. Oh, okay, well, I'll take it then. And the U.S. Marshals just laughed their ass off. It's like, holy crap, yeah, I guess it would be that easy. If no man comes forward and makes a claim, I guess it would be yours. I said, absolutely, it'd be mine. What else? There's only 2 people left on planet Earth. I said, hey, do you want that building over there? What building? The Alabama State Capitol? Nah, you could have it. Okay. I'm going to make a claim that I'm now have control of the Alabama State Capitol. I said, it's that simple. I said, I don't know how to explain it to you. I said, how much tougher is that to understand? And he's like, no, it's crystal clear as a bell. That's right. If nobody wants to claim the actions, the liability, or the responsibility, and be held accountable, that came out of that building, it came out of that agency, I'll take it over. I mean, they could change the name the next day. I said to the U.S. Marshal, said, honestly, all they have to do is change the name the next day. Instead of Department of Human Resources, they call it Department of Social Services. They go DSS and DHR. They could close up DHR overnight. The special meeting of the legislators, they could say, "Cool, can I have DHR?" You know why? Because we're going to change it to DRS instead of DHR. So what? And so now I got DHR. Whoopie-doo. But I said to him, it was just fun to show them I can do it.
Yeah.
What am I really going to have? A piece of paper in my hand saying I got it. Whoopie-doo. There's nothing there. It's attached to it. There's nothing there. It's all based on fraud. There's nothing really there. You just think there's something there. All in all, it's just a piece of paper.
It's that old chestnut. You think there is something there. You think there's evidence. You think there's someone making game.
Yeah. So that, like I said, at least that one U.S. Marshal guy, he went to law school, so he loved what I was doing. He was like, holy shit, dude, you make things so simple. It's like, and the other guy was just he just was a U.S. Marshal because he was like an enforcement kind of officer. He just went to school to learn how to like kick in doors and shoot guns. But the other guy actually went to school for law school, and then he became U.S. Marshal. So it was great to talk. have somebody like him to have to deal with, because he knew exactly the simplicity and how much fun what I was doing. He was like, holy shit, dude, that is like genius. I was like, yeah, it's so simple too, ain't it? He's like, yeah. He's I see why. He said, now I see why Alabama's so scared of you. I said, yeah, because this is so simple. There's no rocket science to what I'm doing. There's no 500 pages of complicated bullshit. He said, it's all simple. So, yeah, I had to go on mute for a while because we were working on the differential on the rear end here in this car. Yeah, so we making a little bit of noise. Glad I took it apart. I got it from a junkyard real cheap, but now I see why. But thank God it's a little problem, not a big problem. But no, see, that's what I'm saying, man. It just take everybody who wants to be a part of the case. And like I said, did you explain to them that you weren't going bananas when the judge said, well, this is your dad's case and you can't be in it? Did you tell the people what I told you to do?
I don't think I said that properly, but yeah, you're right on that. I think I went a bit where it said, you have to be a Mackenzie friend, and I just went ape shit.
Yeah. And then what was happening was, it was Bashim Man versus Barry Rose. And all that hearing basically about was they wanted, and all that hearing basically was about is they wanted to add Rugby Borough Council as a defendant. And the judge accepted it. And you were going bananas saying, no, nobody could, this is my case, nobody comes in unless I allow it. It's like, no, technically, no. You surrendered it to the court, and unless you're just saying that it's a jury only, the case is to remain sealed until it comes before the jury, then yeah, these other people think that they have the ability to do it. Now, you could give the court notice and say, no, the courts take notice that we are not accepting any other defendants at this time because it's beyond our capacity to, fight more than one defendant at a time. We don't have the resources to do it at this time, So, no, we're going to have to respectfully decline it unless, Rugby Borough Council wants to pay us, to allow them to enter, because we just don't have the ability to allow everybody to come into our dance tonight. We're not discriminating against anybody, but we already got it capacity. We can't seat anymore. We can't fill it. We're tapped out. If you want to add more, that's fine, but we're going to need compensation if you want to be included. Or you say, then lovely, you want to be a defendant, that's lovely. And then when they kept saying to you, well, you can't speak, you can't say anything because this is Bashim Man's case, and they were saying, does he need an interpreter? And you were like, no, his property, and I'm going to speak for him. And they were like, no, this court's not even going to recognize you there. What did they basically say? What did they say? Something like that?
They didn't get to that.
What did that?
They didn't get to that bit. By then, I'd got pissed off and just said, right, fine, it's not my case then. Yeah, it is your case. No, it can't be my case because that's not what I asked for. And I said, fine, I'll go to the clerk then, and just got up and walked on.
Yeah, so now, though, but you recognize what I was saying, though, to you on the phone.
Yeah, totally.
All you had to say to the judge, or the hearing officer, it's just the hearing officer probably that day, all you had to say to the hearing officer is, what case do you have before you? It's like Bashim Man versus Barry Rose. It's like, yeah, did you just add Rugby Borough Council to that case? Well, yes, I did. Okay, lovely. Tom, can I see that case that you got in front of you? I say, what? Can I see that paperwork? Can I see the case that you got in front of you? You say, okay, yeah, here you go. That's okay, that's fine. And yes, Dad, Bashim Man, do you mind if I become a party to this case too? If I become a co-claimant? And he'd be like, no. I say, okay, then you just write your name on there and say Bali Man, co-claimant. And there you go. Now you're a party to the case. Now you have standing, and now you can speak in that court too. See how simple that is?